You want to go to that Morgan's office, right? Follow me, said Isshiki to Nami, gesturing for her to accompany him. And if you don't like to see blood, then close your eyes, he added as a cautionary remark. With those words, Isshiki swiftly vanished from the scene, leaving Nami behind, her curiosity piqued. Moments later, he reappeared before Helmeppo, who stood frozen in shock. Before Helmeppo could react to Ishiki's sudden appearance, a dark, menacing rod materialized out of thin air, finding its mark by piercing his heart. Helmeppo's eyes widened in sheer disbelief as he looked at Isshiki, struggling to comprehend the swift turn of events. Isshiki taunted him, his voice filled with disdain. You never expected to meet your demise within the confines of your own father's territory, did you? As the life drained from Helmeppo's body, his face contorted with a mix of unwillingness and profound disbelief. In his final moments, Helmeppo fell to the ground, defeated and betrayed by his own expectations. At first, like Helmeppo, the two guards who were standing behind him were unable to react when Isshiki appeared in front of Helmeppo. Before they could utter a word, Helmeppo was killed right before their eyes. They were shocked, realizing that if Captain Morgans discovered what had happened to his son and that they had failed to protect him despite being positioned behind him, he would undoubtedly seek their demise. With that thought in mind, they swiftly drew their guns. Bastard! How dare you kill him? Do you know whose son he is? They shouted in anger and frustration. However, just as they were about to pull the trigger, Isshiki raised his hand, and 4 rods materialized out of thin air. The rods swiftly pierced both of the Marine guards, causing their lifeless bodies to collapse to the ground. Gradually, all 3 bodies turned to dust, leaving only the rods behind. Isshiki retrieved the rods, taking them back into his personal dimension. At present, one of Ishiki's eyes had transformed into a yellow will pattern with 4 spokes, while the other eye remained the Byakugan. He possessed the ability Sukuna Hikona, which allowed him to shrink or enlarge objects at will. Additionally, he utilized Daikokutten to store and manifest the rods he created. To his surprise, his dimension contained everything that Isshiki had stored within it. Concerns about his chakra levels were non-existent, as he possessed only 25% of the immense chakra of Isshiki Otsutsuki, a quantity beyond his imagination. Suddenly, a frown creased Ishiki's face. What's this? It appears to be some form of energy, he remarked. Yes, this is the energy you absorbed from the people you just killed. This is the ability of the chakra rods. Whenever you kill someone with a rod, it adds their strength to yours. Explain the system. This wasn't the original function of the chakra rod. Did you modify it? Inquired Isshiki. Yes, replied the system. With confirmation from the system, Isshiki nodded and shifted his gaze towards Nami. Come, let's go, he instructed. Nami followed closely behind Isshiki, her curiosity getting the better of her. She voiced her concerns, asking, Where are you going? Do you realize the consequences of your actions? Don't worry, nothing will happen. I know what I'm doing, and this is a perfect place to begin my new endeavor, reassured Isshiki as they continued walking. Endeavor? What endeavor? Nami queried, puzzled by his cryptic statement. Marine hunter, said Isshiki, with calm tone. Nami stopped abruptly, her eyes wide with shock. What? Have you gone mad? Do you even understand what you're saying? The Marines are not just one branch, and as you yourself mentioned, they are massive. How can you possibly dash? Interrupting her, Isshiki responded with conviction. I already told you that my ship was sunk by the Marines. And even if those Marines didn't hold much authority, they were still part of the organization. Even if there were admirals present, they would have followed the same orders. For me, the Marines are like dogs raised by the world government. If you want to harm the owner, you have to remove the dog from your path. So, it's best for me to start doing so early. As they continued their conversation, Isshiki and Nami arrived at the gate of the Marine base, where a few guards were stationed. One of the guards spoke up, questioning their presence. What are you doing here? He asked. I've come here to begin my new career as a Marine hunter, and you have the honor of being one of the first Marines to die by my hand," Isshiki declared. Hearing Ishiki's words, the expressions on the guards' faces changed, and they drew their weapons. "You bastard! Apologize and leave now, and we'll consider this a joke," one of the guards demanded. In an instant, Isshiki vanished from his spot and reappeared before the guard, swiftly striking the guard's heart. The guard was sent flying, crashing into the side gate, where a black rod impaled his body and pinned him to the wall. Witnessing their comrade's death, the remaining guards unleashed a barrage of gunfire at Isshiki. In response, Isshiki produced a bow made of chakra rod, effortlessly deflecting each bullet with precise movements. The constant gunfire created a thick cloud of dust that enveloped the area. When the guards' ammunition ran out, they stood there, panting heavily, their eyes scanning the dusty scene to see if Isshiki was still alive. He must be dead after enduring such a relentless barrage, one of the guards assumed, receiving nods of agreement from the others. However, at the most unexpected moment, 5 rods emerged from the dust-covered ground, impaling the guards. Some heads were pierced, some chests were penetrated. Only one guard remained alive, but his life force was rapidly fading. Just before drawing his last breath, he managed to muster the strength to ask Isshiki, "Why do you do this?" Isshiki paused, his gaze focused. "Revenge," he uttered, with a solemn tone. With those words, the guard succumbed to his injuries and disintegrated into dust. Like him, all the guards slain by Isshiki also transformed into particles. Isshiki could sense the energy flowing into his body, a testament to the power he had gained through their demise.